And feel the connection of your shoulders. Feel the connection of your rib cage and your pelvis and the back of your head connected to the mat. And just start rocking back and forth. So we're taping an online Zoom class, and my class has already started with the pelvic tilts. And just think of a real slight rocking. Whenever I teach this in class, sometimes I'll say, let's start with pelvic tilts, and I see people doing this. So it's a little exaggeration. What that is like the beginnings of a bridge. Right now, I just want a real easy feeling, especially if you're feeling your back. Sometimes we wake up and our backs talks to us. So right now we're just gonna let our backs heal. And I don't have any particular positioning. I'm gonna start to tweak that and bring my feet so that they're hip width apart. And as I continue to get into it, when my belly button comes down, I could feel a stretch in the back of my neck and my chin comes down. When my tailbone comes down, my chin reaches towards the sky. So it's just a little back and forth. And then center, I'm just gonna rock my legs a little side to side. The easiest way to get this is bring your ankles together, knees together, and just drop your knees a little side to side. That really gets into what we're trying to achieve. So the thought is you're just rocking your pelvis, your hips side to side. Sometimes, and I'm hoping you can see this when I do it, sometimes when people think side to side, they start lifting their hips like this. And that's a totally different movement. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's, I think, a little even better to just do less. Just a little rocking. And I can really feel this in my hips and my back, especially where it's crying. And one of my students said something that I did as well. I took a nice long walk on the beach and I woke up the next day with a sore back because the beach is slanted. So let's come back center and let's just lift one leg at a time in tabletop. Excellent. And everybody's looking really good. So I'm going to change the positioning of my head to show you what I'd like you to do. So your head and neck is neutral. There's enough room pretty much for your fist under your chin. And if you put your hand under your neck, there's a big space there. And as you continue to do this, it's really easy and light. You're just lifting one leg at a time. And if you feel like I need a little more, just lift your right leg up, lift your left leg up to meet it, and do it this way. So your legs start up in tabletop, and you're just tapping one foot at a time. So very basic moves. Oh, by the way, next month, starting March 1st, it's March Madness, and I am thinking of something fun that we can do for that. Something every day related to Pilates. So keep tuned. So let's bring both legs in and wrap your hands around your shins and circle your knees and reverse them. And this should feel good, I hope. And then bring your legs back to tabletop and make that decision. Is this good for me, or today I just need to be here? What's best for you? So wherever you are, let's just go ahead and open and close the legs a little side to side. So as you do this, look at your knees, and if you see your feet either on the inside or the outside of your knees, you're a little off placement. So sometimes people do it like this, where their toes are together and they open, or sometimes they move their feet out to the sides. Right now, we're working on stabilizing our pelvis. All these little movements help us be able to do the bigger movements, or be able to do things like our tennis, pickleball, golf, whatever it is you like to do. I'm keying into the South Florida Sports Center mind. Then grab your shins again, circle 3 times one way, and reverse it. And then bring your feet to the wider edges of the mat and just windshield wiper your legs side to side. Really enjoy that. So I am guessing that the people who like lower back help, this helps it. This should feel really good to you. And you don't have to go as fast as I'm going. Let both legs drop to the left and stay there. And just take a moment and see how that feels. If you're not feeling anything, maybe walk your right foot a little more right. And if you still don't feel anything, think of pressing your right thigh bone forward and feel the stretch in the front of your right leg. And then allow that leg to relax and just take a moment here. On your next exhale, let your legs drop to the right. And same thing, if your leg feels pretty good here, if you want more, you can walk it back a little. Find the positioning that works for you. And then from here, just squeeze that left thigh bone forward, and boy, do I feel that. Nice stretch all the way through to the front of that thigh. And exhale, release. Come back center, and now we're going to do some bridging. So if you need to reset, shoulder blades flat underneath you, palms face down by your hips. As you exhale, you're going to curl your tailbone up and start to lift your spine off the mat one vertebra at a time. As you do this, notice what you're feeling. I want everybody to think of drawing their thigh bones towards each other and see what happens when you do that. So not so much that your knees touch, but that everything remains parallel. Also, as you're in this position, if you cramp, come down right away. Notice what's happening in your ribs. Are your ribs flaring out like this? Can you adjust your positioning so the ribs are down a little, but the hips are up? Something else you want to achieve here is hip extension. So when we're learning bridging, a lot of times I see this, which is fine. Eventually, we really want to lengthen up, and this is so good for our backs. So let's roll back down again, one vertebra at a time, getting that massage in your back. And then let's do that a few more times. I'd like to do this at least 4 more times. Peel up. Once you get up, hold it. Shoulder blades are flat, ribs are down, hips are up, and then slowly roll down. Really delay the roll down in the lower back. You'll know right away how your back is when you come down for that. If you'd like to change it up a little, maybe bring your heels in a little more as you lift those hips up again. Continue to lift up, lift up, lift up. And notice where you feel it. I'm feeling this in the top of my legs. Continue to keep the ribs down, hips up, and slowly roll down again. So look, as my back comes down, I'm taking my time. I'm delaying the lower back. And this is about where I get stuck. So I'm slowly working through that. Now maybe walk your feet out a little further and come back up again. And notice the difference. Woo, I feel that right in the back of my legs. So interesting how just changing the position of your feet changes the exercise. The goal is the same, hip extension, posterior chain strength, which helps with balance. Everything is aligned and you slowly roll down. So because we're having back issues today, we're not going to do one leg at a time. While we're here, go ahead and cross your right ankle over your left thigh like this. Now I want you to slide the knee so it's directly on top. Now just start to windshield wiper your legs a little side to side. You only go as far as it feels right and good to you. Maybe let both legs drop to the left and keep both shoulders down and see if you feel a stretch in your back, right where I'm rubbing my hand. Just stay here. And then roll back and let both legs drop to the right. Exhale back center. Slide your right ankle so it's over your left thigh, right by the knee. If you'd like support, your hand can rest here, So there's a big difference between pressing your knee away with force. So let's say you're here and you're super tight in that hip. You can let your hand rest here as a support for your knee so you're not pinching into your hip flexor. So you can press it away a little and just let that leg rest into your hands. If you're really mobile, you can just let your hand rest down here. And you could just start again, windshield wipering those legs side to side. And notice how it feels now. If you have the mobility and it feels right and good to you, see if you could get that right foot all the way down to the floor on the left side for a moment. If you'd like, you can just gently keep your hand to support your legs so you're not gripping in your hip flexor. It feels really nice to do that. So I'm pressing my left hand gently into my right thigh, and I feel a nice stretch all the way through my hip area. As you exhale, bring your legs up and let your right knee come to the floor. And your head could turn towards the left just like this. If you're feeling pretty good here, start to slide that left foot back a little and just let your right ankle rest on your left thigh. So I actually feel a little more into my quadratus lumbarum, and the right leg is relaxed. If this is too much for you, release that right leg down to the mat. Your choice had to bring your legs back up. You can keep that ankle on your thigh, or you can do what I just did. So from here, we're going to take another bridge. So you're going to slowly lift up, peel your hips off the mat, keep your gaze ahead. Feel the extension in your hips, ribs down, hips up, and slowly roll down again. And then we're going to take our left ankle and cross it over our right thigh and slide that knee on top. And just start to rock a little side to side. So everybody's in a different place. Everybody's looking good doing this, by the way. I choose to start this hip stretch this way for people who tend to have tighter hips. It's nicer on the knees. It eases your way into the stretch. If you'd like, let both legs drop to the right. And if you feel good about it, turn your head to the left. Take a deep inhale. Feel yourself expanding. Exhale, let yourself go. One more inhale, and as you exhale, let the exhale help you bring your legs up and let both legs drop to the left. And see how that feels. If anything doesn't feel good, don't do it. I can feel a really nice stretch on this side. And then come back center. And if it feels right, just start to bring your ankle over that right thigh and gently press that left knee away. And let's start rocking side to side. So taking your time, a little bit side to side. Everybody looks great. You guys, your positioning is really good. I hope it feels good as well. The next time your left foot comes down, see if you can get it all the way to the mat. If not, that's fine. You go wherever you are, and if you'd like, you can let your right hand gently keep your left leg relaxed. So feeling a nice stretch in that left side. Ever feel like you want somebody to just pull you and really decompress? That's sort of what this does. On your next exhale, let the legs lift up and see if it feels right to get that left knee to the floor. And then you can let your legs completely relax and maybe walk that right foot back a little. You're letting your left leg rest on the outside of the right thigh. If that doesn't feel great to you, release the leg and stay here. Take another deep breath. Exhale, release. One more inhale. Exhale, however you'd like to come back center. And then bring both feet back down again. So let's grab our foam rollers if you have them. If not, you can always use anything that gives you a little lift. So we're just going to go ahead and bring the foam rollers under our feet. So you can use a chair, you can use a little box, whatever, fit ball, whatever works for you. So both feet are on the roller, and as you exhale, curl that tailbone up and come back up into that bridge. Again, this time if you're on a roller, you're on an unstable surface. Maybe rock your feet back and forth. Notice what happens to your muscles when you do that. I definitely feel my hamstrings firing up. Another neat thing about this, even though it's more challenging and you feel it in the muscles, it also is more of an assist to get those hips higher. And then slowly roll down again. And then bring the roller so it's really close to your body. Lift up again and let the roller rest right under your sacrum. So you're not in the small of your lower back. You're on the hips. Place your hands on your hip bones. Those are the nice hard things sticking out on top. And your roller should be directly under the point of those hip bones. So we're here. Let's just lift that right leg up. Wrap your hands either around your right shin or your right hamstring. Whatever feels right to you. Allow those shoulders to relax as you extend your left leg to the mat. On your next exhale, allow your right leg to rest in your hands. As I gently bring my knee towards my right armpit, I can feel a nice stretch in the top of my left leg. To increase this, I'm going to energize my left leg a little more as if I am attempting to press my left leg through the floor. So I'm hoping everybody's feeling the top of their left leg. Your right leg's relaxing into your hands, and you're going to start circling your right foot from the ankle joint. And we're going to reverse the circle. And now you're going to wrap your hands around your right hamstring. And so the leg is going to come a little bit further away from you, and you're going to slowly start to straighten and bend that right leg. So I'm demonstrating how much care I want you to take with this. I'd love for you to be intuitive here and just see, where does it work for me? So every time you inhale, you lengthen that leg. And you could always try to do it the other way around. So I'm hoping that you're feeling a therapeutic benefit to this. If your hamstrings are naturally tight, you may not be so happy right now, but having your hands holding your hamstring should help that. So the next time you can straighten your leg completely, keep your hands behind your leg. Gently press your leg into your hands just for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale as you let that leg release a little further. If this feels okay to you, rock your hands a little higher and gently start pulling your right leg towards your head. My left leg is coming along for the ride. I'm not forcing it up. As I pull my right leg in, my left leg naturally comes up, and I feel a deeper stretch in the top of my left leg. Now I'm going to let everything relax. Bend the right knee and place your right foot on the mat. Slide your left heel in. That's a much friendlier way to get there. You might need to readjust the positioning of the roller as you bring your left leg in and wrap both hands wherever it feels best to you and extend your right leg straight. Allow that left leg to rest, and I'm gently pulling my left knee towards my left shoulder. Boy, do I feel the front of my right thigh. To make it deeper, I'm going to really energize my right leg through the floor and circle your left foot from the ankle joint. Reverse the circle. Place your hands under your left hamstring and start to straighten and bend that leg. So I just went for it this time. I went exactly where I felt I needed to go. Everybody is different. We all have our strengths. We all have the things we need to improve. The next time your leg straightens up, stay here. Exhale, press your leg into your hand. So I'm really exaggerating this so you can see that we're just doing a PNF stretch technique, and we're holding this for 3 more seconds. 2, 1, release. And I'm hoping everybody felt how that improved the flexibility. If it feels good to you, you can walk your hands higher and just start gently pulling your left leg towards you. So notice, is your left leg bent like this? It's not wrong, but if you'd like to get more of a benefit, do your best to keep that leg straight. So if it still is really challenging to do it by holding your legs, you can grab a belt or something to help make this a little easier for you. The next time you come down, slide your right knee in, bring your left foot down. And we're gonna lift our hips into that bridge again. Keep your roller here. Come back down. Now I'm placing my roller right about the middle of my hips. And I'm gonna lift my legs up and start to roll side to side. I personally think this feels fantastic. We're getting into the deepness of our hips. We're getting right into that piriformis. So something to think about here, and everybody's doing it really well. Keep your legs stacked. And when you drop your legs to the left, for instance, that right knee is still on top of the left leg. And then we're gonna go to the other side and continue this side to side. So I'm beginning to feel like my roller's gonna slide out from under me. So I'm gonna take a moment and readjust the positioning. And just continue going side to side, getting that nice massage into the side of your hips. If this feels good to you, you want to do a little more. When you go to one side, let the top leg extend, come back in and switch. Continue side to side. Maybe you want to do both legs, and you could also sort of, I always think of like a tick-tock, like a clock handle going back and forth. And I feel myself sliding again, so I'm going to come center, bend my knees, bring my feet to the mat, lift up one more time. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to keep our legs here to the sky, and we're just going to go like a long scissors. So think of like big long walks. As you do this, you should definitely feel those hamstrings again. Continue this motion and then make it smaller and go down like you're flutter kicking down and up. So key here is don't go down so far that you feel your back kicking in. So you might just be here the whole time. Really lengthen the legs and just find where your edge is. I'm about here. Now heels together, toes apart, and just come up and down like that. So my sacrum is connected to the roller. Everything is even. I'm hoping you're noticing that now we're getting into a little work. I'm feeling abs, I'm feeling inner thighs. You can tell by how I'm talking. Lower a little more and just bend and straighten your legs. So sort of like a frog kick. And same deal, you want to do it so that you're in a challenging position. You're in a challenging position that doesn't feel awkward. Well, it might feel a little awkward, but the idea is that you're working without pain. Come back center. Now I want you to bring it so that your toes are together, your heels are apart, and you're drawing on a line like you're making a big almond, heels together, toes apart, up and down just like this. Same thing, you don't have to go too low. You want to maintain the alignment of your spine. And then come center. Let's take a little femur circle break. And reverse it. Come back to the legs to the sky. Make sure you feel pretty secure. Extend one leg down. The leg that's close to the floor slides in, and you're going to continue this like you're laying down bicycling. Really find the length in your legs. The leg that's on the mat Imagine there are roller skates under your feet as you slide them in. Continue bicycling here and really fill the space with your movement. Really feel the lengthening of that leg to the floor. If you cramp up, you could do what I did with my toes because I just cramped up. I'm hoping you're beginning to feel some work here. And let's reverse it. Slide the foot away now. Excellent. Really lengthen. You can always come back to it. I see a few people taking a break. You can always come back to it. Just take a moment. And you could also just go back to just staying here and rocking a little side to side or back and forth. Whatever feels right to you, as long as you don't rest too long. Okay, everybody bring your feet down, lift your hips up. We're done with the roller here. We're right away going to put that roller under our necks and just start rolling your head side to side. And I'm hoping everybody's happy here with a nice neck massage. Come center. As you exhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Place the roller right next to you. We're going to take our hands. Actually, before we start that, let's continuing to work on learning how to lift up our head, neck, and shoulders without pain in our neck. So I lowered my head towards the top of my mat. And I would say the top of my head the crown of my head is off the mat. The base of my skull is on it. I'm going to grab the edges of my mat and pick them up like a hammock. As you exhale, press your lower ribs into the mat to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. This should look just like I am relaxing back into a hammock, and then come back down. So try that again. Lift up, let your head rest into the hammock. So if you feel your neck, you're overdoing it. Come back down. Release the mat. Place your hands behind your head. Elbows come up. As you exhale, press those lower ribs down. Let your head rest into your hands. My hope is you feel a release in your neck. This is work, but it should not be anything in the neck. I feel this mostly in my abdominal muscles. I also feel it in my arms. Exhale back down. Exhale up again. This time, release your hands. Wrap your hands around your hamstrings. If you bend your elbows a little, it helps you lift a little higher. Head and neck should be relaxed. Hands back behind the head. Let the head rest. Come back down. This time, lift your legs up. As you exhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Reach your hands behind your hamstrings. Pull a little higher. Keep your head and neck aligned. Poke your toes to the wall in front of you and to the floor to come all the way up to sitting. I am really hoping that that version of it worked really well for everybody. So we're sitting, we're going to go right into Baddha Konasana. So we're getting into our yoga of opening and closing our knees towards the floor. Good. So we're going to let go of judgment, competition, expectation. Just because I can get the back of my thighs to the floor just means that I have been doing this particular stretch since I was 17 every day. And since I'm only 27, it's pretty amazing. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so we're gonna cross. I have my right leg in front of my left, and we're sitting nice and tall. For those of you who find this position uncomfortable, just lift your hips off the floor higher. You can sit on a ball, you can sit on the roller, whatever feels better to you. We're just going to sit like this and lift your right arm up and just reach all the way up and over towards the left side. My hope is you feel the stretch in the right side of your body and you feel support in the left side. As you exhale, switch. So we're going to continue this side to side and just enjoy lengthening one side of the body and supporting yourself on the other. Side to side. The next time your right arm comes up and over, I want you to think of lifting your ribs as you roll forward. Switch the hands and come back up. And we're going to do it again to the other side. Lift. You're going to curve forward, switch the hands and come back up. And let's do that again. Up, curve forward, roll forward and back up. Last time. Up, forward, forward and up. And we already did both sides, so I'm not going to repeat it on the other side. From here, we're going to place that roller back down again, and we're just going to sit in front of it. I know where to place it so that it's right between my shoulder blades. You may need to, especially if this is the first time doing it, just place your hands here as you come back, and just make sure, again, your hands are behind your head, letting your head rest. Make sure you're in a position where your shoulder blades are. Mine are where the bottom of my shoulder blades are. You feel pretty comfortable. All I'd like for you to do right now, same thing, let your head rest into your hands and start to bring your head, neck, and shoulders back as far as you're able. As you exhale, press the ribs down to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. Exhale again to go back so you can maintain the ribs connected. So continue to come up and down, letting your head rest into your hands. Stay here, lift your hips a little bit, and we're going to just roll up and down the roller. It should feel really nice. You're giving yourself a nice massage in between your shoulders. If this feels good, roll to one side and try the other. And come back center. Reach your hands behind your hamstrings and roll back up. We're going to carefully come to our hands and knees. And the roller is going to go right behind your knees, right above your thighs. And we're just staying here for a moment. So I also have a lot of people who say it is really uncomfortable for me to be in this position. It could be too much pressure in the wrists. It could be too much pressure in the knees. Couple solutions. If you'd like to challenge yourself, maybe put a pillow or some cushioning under your knees. Same thing with your hands. Some people roll up a towel. You can do fists for wrists. You could come to your fingertips, and being on your fingertips really gives you an awareness to press through them so you feel your arms begin to support you, and then softly bring your hands back down, and it should help alleviate some of that pressure. Inhale, find your way into cow. Exhale, find your way into cat. Let your breath lead the movement. To take this further one more notch, as you exhale, focus on the lower back, your belly button reaching more to the sky. And as you inhale, think of your upper back reaching towards the floor. Find your way back to tabletop and keep that roller close to the top of your legs. Find your way into a plank. And then we're just going to roll from our hips to right above the knees. As you do this, if you feel a strain in your lower back, there's a great chance that you're doing it like this. So what I'd love for you to do is think about somebody putting some little candles right under your belly button, and you do not want to feel the heat. So what do you need to do to keep yourself aligned? I instantly think of lifting my belly button to my back. I am pressing through the floor, through the evenness of my wrists and elbows, and then come down and rest. So if child's pose feels good to you, you can sit back into child's pose. If it doesn't, hold on for a moment, do whatever you need to do. And I'd like for everybody to bring your hands to the top of the mat, curl your toes under, and then fold your way into downward facing dog. So a little thing about downward facing dog. I see a million variations of this. And the best thing I can suggest is start with bending your knees and shifting your weight back. Really spreading your hands nice and wide, and then slowly start to see if you can reach your heels towards the earth as you continue to press back. Not all of us have very long Achilles tendons. So if you're really tight there, it's okay that your heels don't touch. If you're not, doing that little bend and lengthening helps increase it. Really pressing your shoulder blades towards your hips gets it out of your head and neck. Walk your feet forward and slowly roll all the way up to standing, rolling your shoulders all the way down and back. So I'm going to go ahead and change the Zoom video up. And from here, we're just going to roll forward, up, back, and down. Again, forward, up, back, down. One more time. Stand here, reach your right arm to the sky and glide that shoulder blade up and down. Plug it in, lift all the way up and over towards the left side. Exhale, center and switch. Bringing your left arm up, glide that shoulder blade up and down. The next time you plug the shoulder down, lift all the way up and over towards the right side. Feel the stretch on that right side. Really press your left foot into the floor. Exhale, back center. And we'll do a quick stretch for the necks. So first, place your hands behind your head, shoulders down. If you notice, my elbows are forward a little, they're not back like this. All I want you to do is press your head back into your hands and release. We're going to do that again. Press your head into your hands and release. One more time, press into your hands and release, and you could release your arms down. Keep the shoulders down, lift your right ear to the sky. Keep that right shoulder down. I'm hoping you feel a nice stretch in the right side of your neck. Look down at your left armpit, take a moment here. Roll your chin center, lift your head up. Now reach your left ear towards the sky. Keep your shoulders even. So if you guys can see yourself in your screens, make sure those shoulders are even. I see a lot of this sometimes. And then look down at your right armpit. Roll your chin center. Lift your head up. Inhale your hands above your head. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Lift up and over one more time. Feel that stretch in the right side of your body. Exhale, center. Switch sides. Lift all the way up and over. Come back center. Thumbs to the third eye. Let's connect to our superconscious mind. This is the part of you that guides you in that best possible way. This is the aha center of your being. Bring your thumbs to your heart center, finding your compassion, your feelings, your intuitiveness. I wish you all love, peace, joy, and wonderful good health always. Namaste. And thank you all so much.